Buckeye Talk coming to you from the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. We're kind of in a breezeway or something because it's stuff going on inside and it's too rainy behind us. Nathan Baird, Stephen Means, Doug Lesmerises from cleveland.com. We got to talk to all of the Ohio State newcomers today. So incoming freshmen, early enrollees, and the transfers who are coming in. One of those early enrollees is quarterback Devin Brown. Doug, you said that there's a connection there, or he made you think of a former Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not just because he's a white guy, but he feels like Joe Burrow a little bit. Like, he looks like kind of a little bit like Joe Burrow, and it's one of those things where you're talking to him for a while, and then I was like, by the way, like, who's your favorite quarterback? And I was like, I wonder if he's going to say Joe Burrow. And he's like, oh, Joe Burrow. And I was like, cool, I'm writing that. So I talked to him a little bit after. Like, he seems Joe didn't fully develop into icy Joe Burrow until he left here. But the thing that always stood about Joe Burrow, in addition to like his pocket presence and maneuverability and kind of is like he just felt like he connected with everybody. And like Devin Brown is like very cognizant of that, and I find that very interesting. And he's like like he wants to do that, and we were talking about like how important that is for a quarterback. Not that like C.J. Stroud doesn't do that or anybody else doesn't do that, but I don't know. It's almost like Ryan Day like making up for like, well, you know, that guy left in 2018 and he turned out to be pretty good. It's like that guy seems like him a little bit. So listen, this guy can throw. He's got a good arm. Played for Joe Germain in high school. Like he's got all these connections, but I couldn't help it. Sorry if it was obvious to everybody. Like I couldn't help but sort of think that.
One of the things Devin Brown talked about today was the whole Quinn Ewers situation and how he was ready to come in and compete with him and be a backup or compete with him for whatever way he needed to the next couple of years. And then obviously Ewers transfers to Texas, and it opens up some things for Brown. But, Stephen, just from your conversation today with him, what did you get from what Brown's mindset is as he's coming in this spring into this fall and how he fits in with this quarterback room?
Yeah, he definitely gives off a starting quarterback vibe already, but he just also understands he's not going to be the starting quarterback this year. This is a year of learning for him. But I think the most interesting things he talked about is the binder, which became a topic of conversation throughout the entire time he was sitting there. The fact that one of the first things Ohio State gave him was this big binder that showed him how much attention to detail they paid to the quarterback position. He talked about how Tony Alford first made contact with him, but he didn't believe it because it's the running backs coach. So why would I believe a quarterback that they want me as a quarterback? And it wasn't until Corey Dennis showed up and watched him practice that he actually started believing he could come to Ohio State. I think between the binder, between the conversations he's had with Corey Dennis, between the reputation Ryan Day has, and then that all got him to commit. Actually, he made up his mind a couple of days before he came on that official visit, and then coming to that Michigan State game and seeing what C.J. Stroud did that day was kind of like the cherry on the top of all that. But I do agree with Doug. He looked very comfortable sitting up there, and even as a quarterback, C.J. Stroud and Jack Miller weren't that comfortable yet because they're 18 years old and this is a new environment. I think the concept that he's from Arizona, but he spent the last 6 months in Utah kind of helped, further some of that development there. But he looked very comfortable sitting in that setting, and I'm interested to see how this next year plays off when he does kind of get into a quarterback battle a year from now. Maybe it's with Kyle McCord or whoever it's with.
We're going to have a lot more to say about all the guys we talked to today, so find Buckeye Talk wherever you can find podcasts and get the text, 614-350-3315. We were sending all this intel out basically as soon as we were having the conversations with these guys. Come find us at Buckeye Talk.